Hello, welcome back, Recapped Mystery here. Today, I'm going to explain a South Korean film, Deranged. Watch out and take care. Dr. Jae Hyuk is a father of two and a former biochemistry professor from Seoul. He lost his life savings and his career as a result of a disastrous stock market bet he made on the advice of his detective younger brother Jae-pil. Jae-pil regrets squandering Jae Hyuk's money in the stock market and has repeatedly apologized to him, but Jae Hyuk refuses to accept his apology and refuses to work with him. Jae Hyuk currently works as a pharmaceutical sales representative for Cha Pharmaceuticals, where he does menial jobs such as taking his boss James Kim's family on vacation and caressing his clients' feet. Seeing Jae Hyuk overworked and anxious all the time, his wife has volunteered to pick up a job to help him support the family on numerous times, but his pride prevents him from forcing his wife to work. Jae-pil is remorseful and is still looking for methods to repay his brother. He detects unusual stock activity at Cha Pharmaceuticals and tries to warn Jae Hyuk, but the latter refuses to take any more advice from his brother. Cha Pharmaceuticals was purchased by Bronze-Star, a foreign-based company that has closed its RD section to save money. Jae-pil seeks the assistance of his biochemist lover and Jae Hyuk's friend Yeonju to repay his brother, but she refuses to be taken advantage of like Jae Hyuk. Jae Hyuk discovers his wife and children eating in the middle of the night one night, but he doesn't think much of it and goes to sleep. The next morning, an unconnected couple discovers a woman's dead body floating in the Han River and calls the police. The discovery traumatizes the pair since the dead body has cachexia, or reduced to skin and bones. The investigators are perplexed since reducing someone to skin and bone takes time, and the woman was with her family yesterday night and went to bed with her husband before she was discovered missing in the morning. The police discover numerous more dead bodies in similar condition in Seoul's water bodies, driving the media and people into a frenzy. Jae-pil has been directed to examine similar occurrences in the Gangwon province, which borders North Korea. Meanwhile, Jae Hyuk is unconcerned and heads to his scheduled golf trip with his boss Kim. Kim keeps guzzling bottle after bottle of water at the golf course. Jae Hyuk and his co-workers are unconcerned until Kim dashes towards the pond and leaps in, almost as if compelled by an invisible force. Jae Hyuk attempts to save him but is unsuccessful, and Kim's body, like the others, is quickly reduced to skin and bones. Jae Hyuk returns home late after his boss's terrible death to find his family drinking water in the same manner. By the next day, numerous additional dead had accumulated across the country, catching the attention of the Korean authorities. Authorities are baffled as to the origin of the abrupt deaths because the victims display no physical signs but appear ghastly as soon as they jump into the water. Authorities discovered the victim dead in his bathtub at one house, with unidentified worm-like critters swimming near to his dead body. Officials from the organisms are parasitic horsehair worms that generally feed on insects. According to the Ministry of Health, these worms appear to have transformed into a new type capable of infecting human bodies. It has been discovered that the dramatic change in appearance of victims after jumping into bodies of water was caused by parasites abandoning the host body for water. Because these worms can affect the human brain, those infected experience increased hunger without gaining weight. When the worms reach maturity and are ready to reproduce, the infected people become extremely thirsty and leap into the river to allow the worms to exit their bodies and multiply. While scientists search for a cure, the government deploys a police force throughout Korea to prevent afflicted people from jumping into bodies of water. The government also advises those who have been in or near water to get medical attention as soon as possible. As a result, a large number of people are rushed to hospitals. Jae Hyuk panics and rushes home after learning about these events at work, while his family exhibits symptoms of the disease. A team of scientists and doctors investigate the organism and discover that it is physically difficult to extract it from the host bodies because it fuses itself to the inner walls of the small intestine, claiming to be part of it in order to draw nutrients from the host. Because physical extraction of the creature is not possible, scientists suspect that the organism could be killed by anthelmintic medications, which are treatments used to treat parasitic worm infestations in animals. The researchers created a patient group to test the effects of anthelmintic medications on the body. Yeonju raises ethical issues, but her supervisors are unconcerned because they are under enormous pressure to discover a treatment. People go to pharmacies to obtain anthelmintic medications. As word spreads, things worsen when it is revealed that utilizing any type of anthelmintic actually causes more agonizing suffering and eventually death. The government issues an instant statement warning citizens against taking anthelmintic medications to treat the sickness. Jae-pil discovers the village leader crying at a local hospital, blaming himself for the plague in a Gangwon town. When Jae-pil asks him to explain himself, the chief explains that he saw several foreigners releasing their dogs in the stream in the spring. At the time, he didn't think much of it because he assumed the strangers were attempting to get rid of their sick dogs. The community was days away from the tourist season, and the chief didn't want to imperil the year's money, so he collected the dogs' corpses and buried them himself in the mountain. The Christmas season approached, and vacationers descended upon the village, but nothing happened. After a few months, the bodies began to be uncovered by the creek. Jae-pil also hears about his brother's family but is unable to accompany them to the hospital due to work obligations. Following several fatalities, a patient admits that he was treated by a unique sort of medicine called Windazole, which he took at home. Clinical testing demonstrate the mutant horsehair worm's necrosis. The word spreads like wildfire, and the country goes frantic in an attempt to obtain the drug. The medicine is only manufactured by Cha Pharmaceuticals, the business for whom Jae Hyuk works. However, due to weak sales, the company ceased production of the medicine in October of last year. Pharmacies quickly run out of stock. Government authorities call the pharmaceutical business and demand that their supply be increased. However, after being acquired by the foreign investment firm, the machines involved in the drug's production have been inadequately managed, and the company has failed to produce a single pill. The company's CEO is summoned for a public hearing, and the government requests that the company reveal the drug's composition. However, the CEO claims that the company's major foreign stockholders have refused to do so, and the government has no legal grounds to compel the company to reveal the drug's recipe. The country's prime minister offers the corporation a large sum in exchange for disclosing the drug's composition. He gives the corporation a few hours to accept the offer and threatens them with a thorough audit if they do not. People become desperate to obtain the medication as the corporation considers the government's offer. Jae Hyuk uses his Cha Pharma contacts to obtain the last remaining supply of the medication. When a swarm of people outside the company notices him with the scarce medicine, the last remaining tablets are taken away from him. Jae Hyuk is heartbroken, and his co-worker consoles him. According to Jae Hyuk's co-worker, Cha Pharma distributed 100,000 boxes of the medicine on the market before it was stopped, with each box carrying 4 dosages. Jae Hyuk finds it difficult to imagine that the market ran out of 400,000 pills just hours after the announcement. His co-worker believes the medications were never released to the public. Meanwhile, Jae-pil begins probing into Cha's suspicious stock activities once more. He learns that a few individuals with no addresses anonymously purchased all of the company's stock a few months ago, when the company was not even earning a profit. During the public hearing, Cha's CEO rejects the PM's offer and makes a counteroffer. He requests that the government purchase the entire company for a stunning 5 billion won. This would constitute the drug's composition government property, and as the owner, the government could release it to the public, allowing other pharmaceutical companies to produce more of it for the fast-growing number of patients. The price is outrageous, and most government officials are opposed to the concept, but the PM is under strong pressure to offer the cure to the people since scientists have discovered that infected people will die within a day even if they do not jump into water if they do not receive the cure. Jae-pil discovers one of the persons who purchased the company's stock through further inquiry. The individual is confirmed to be a former Cha Pharma researcher. Jae-pil coerces the man into telling the truth, revealing that the entire health crisis was organized and engineered by disgruntled former Cha Pharmaceuticals researchers. Scientists at the pharmaceutical industry discovered the parasite Yongasi several years ago, The researchers began investigating the Yongasi parasite's protein that controls the brain in the hopes of finding a solution for other brain disorders such as Alzheimer's. The team was about to begin its study on discovering a cure for Alzheimer's after successfully generating a mutant version of the horsehair parasite that utilized mammals as hosts when the company was abruptly sold over, and the new owners sacked the research team. Upset and enraged, several of the researchers banded together and plotted the entire incident. They purchased the company's stock and released the parasite after stockpiling 100,000 packets of the medicine. As a result, hundreds of thousands of individuals became ill this summer while vacationing near rivers. One of the scientists then pretended to be healed by the medicine in order to boost stock prices. When J-Pill learns of this, he quickly summons his brother and the two go to the storage facility where the researchers had placed the remaining medications. The two brothers are successful in obtaining the narcotics, but someone locks them inside the building and sets it on fire. The two survive, but all of the narcotics burn down with the structure, and the researcher who alerted them about the building is murdered by an unknown man. Jae-hyuk refuses to give up and decides to create the medicine using his chemistry skills. As long as he can develop a treatment that contains the same active ingredient as Windazole, he should be able to treat his family without the use of Windazole. Yeonju includes other pharmaceutical businesses in his ambitions. Meanwhile, J-Pill's colleagues continue their investigation into the shady pharmaceutical firm and discover that the slain researcher was the head of the research team and a close friend of the CEO. The other researchers have already fled the country, and the dead team leader was also intended to flee after the narcotics were removed from the warehouse. The entire catastrophe was plotted and prepared from the start by the CEO of the pharmaceutical company and the researchers. Unbeknownst to everyone, the Prime Minister accepts the CEO's offer to purchase the company. However, just as the Prime Minister is ready to sign the document, he is notified of the entire conspiracy, and the CEO is imprisoned. Jae-hyuk and other pharmaceutical businesses band together to develop a viable medicine and treat everyone as soon as possible. Some months have passed. Jae-hyuk and his family are at an amusement park, talking about their vacations overseas and the Yongasi worm. As the film concludes with a scene of a dead body drifting in New York Harbor, Jae-hyuk freezes and turns around. The end. Please subscribe to assist the channel, turn on notification and leave a like. Thank you for taking the time to watch. See you again soon.